Hi folks, it's the team from Eurovision Ireland and we're back, and this time we're reviewing over the course of several shows the songs that are taking part in the 2022 Eurovision Song Contest. If it's your first time here, welcome. Please have a look at what else we've got on the website, on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, on YouTube. There's all manner of stuff if you've never been here before. If you have been with us before, welcome back. It's good that you're joining us for this series. Now we're going to be looking at all of the songs taking part in this year's contest over the course of several reviews. Now what we're going to do is each take a song. I'll come on to which songs they are in a second, and we're going to talk about them, vote on them. Again, I'll talk about the voting later, and we'll see if we can pick a winner. So the songs we're looking at this time are from Bulgaria, Czech Republic, Moldova, North Macedonia and Spain. I'm doing them in alphabetical order, so there's no favoritism there. So each of us is going to take one. So I better introduce the team, of course. So we have James.
Everyone.
We have Bogdan.
Hello, everyone.
Sarah.
Hi, everyone.
We have Richard.
Hi, everyone.
And me, John, and our good old Staggy, who he's gone a bit quiet. He's not got much to say at the moment, but you should hear him when he's off air. Okay, without further ado, our first song we're going to look at is from North Macedonia, and that's called Circles, and it's being sung by Andrea Koevska, who's co-written it with Alexander Mazevsky. Now this one will be performed in the second semi-final. James is going to lead off on this one. Off you go, James.
So I want to start by saying that I absolutely love North Macedonia at Eurovision. I think they've been criminally underrated for many. I'm always looking forward to see what they're going to bring to the stage, because I think they do bring things that are very different to the stage. Now, listening to Circles for the official music video, where it's just Andrea sort of singing into the camera, and I was immediately struck by the intensity of her performance. Now, she's got a very rich, very emotive voice. There's something about the way she's looking down the camera. You can believe every word that she's saying, and I think that's really critical when it comes to a contest. Now, the song itself, it's about a relationship going around in circles, sort of coming towards the end of a relationship, and I think that's something that a lot of people will relate to on one way or another. And yeah, I think they've done a fantastic job with this. It's quite emotional. Andrea sells it beautifully, and musically it's quite modern, so I think there are a lot of good things in here. One thing that I'm slightly frustrated by, I use the word frustrated, is the fact that it's quite repetitive. Now, this could be because it's a circle, so the song is going in circles, that's why it's quite repetitive. So I think, okay, you know, if that's an artistic choice, that's not a bad thing. The thing is, because Andrea is such an amazing performer and she sells everything that she's singing so well, I wanted her to have more of a story to tell. That was the only thing that I thought, you know, oh, I'm really enjoying this, I wanted to see more. So that's my one tiny critique on it. North Macedonia qualifying for Eurovision finals, as we know, that can be a bit of an uphill battle at times. I like to think that they could do it, because I mean, we saw in Tel Aviv that, you know, North Macedonia can get it right, and they can get it very right as well. You know, winning the jury vote, that's, you know, that's something. I think Circles has got enough there to appeal to a televote and a jury. I think staging will be critical though, and I think that's where North Macedonia needs to think very carefully about how they're going to stage this. I think with Andrea being such a confident performer, I think having that close-up camera work on her, let her connect, let her sell, and then I think, yeah, North Macedonia could be back in the final with this one. I quite like it.
Thanks, James. Bogdan, over to you.
Thank you. Well, I like the song. I really enjoy her voice, and like James said, the connectivity with the camera is there. Like James said, it's a bit repetitive for my taste, but I do think they're gonna do well at Eurovision, as long as the focus will be only on her. We don't need any gimmicks, just the focus on her. That's it.
Thank you. Sarah, what have you got to say about North Macedonia's song?
Yeah, I'm with James and Bogdan on this. I think she's a great singer, and I do think she sells the song very well. The only thing is, I think a lot is going to depend on the staging on the night, because she's got to carry off that song on a great big stage. and I just hope that she's going to have that connection with the audience, which is what a ballad such as the one that she's singing is going to need. And I'd like to see North Macedonia do well, because they do struggle sometimes with qualifying, and I would really like to see this get to the final. My only reservation would be because we don't know as yet all of the songs that are going to compete, and hopefully we don't get too many other similar sounding ballads, because then they could cancel each other out. So yeah, thumbs up for it.
Sarah, Richard, over to you.
Like James said, it feels very raw and emotive, but I don't feel like it's as strong as Proud. But like Sarah said, I think staging could be really important with this one.
Thanks, Richard. Yeah, I have to agree. I mean, it's all going to depend on the staging, which we're not going to see for some time to come yet. But I think it's a bit safe. It's a bit too safe for me. Safe doesn't always do well at Eurovision, and I think it's a bit too safe. I think it might struggle, but happy to be proven wrong. Anyway, moving on. Our next song is from Moldova. Now that's going to be Trenulețul. I hope I pronounced that right. And it's by Zdub, who you may know of, and Frații Advahov, who you probably don't know of. So an interesting collaboration. This song is performing in the first semi-final. At the time of recording, in the first half of the first semi-final, which could have an impact or not. And the person to lead on this one is Bogdan. Take it away.
Hey ho, let's go. Okay, so Zdub and Frații Advahov are singing this song in Romanian. It's a party song, a fun song. It's about the connectivity between Romania and Moldova, happening on the party from Chișinău to Bucharest. And yeah, it's a fun song. I don't know how much the public in Europe and all over the world would understand, because it's in Romanian, but the energy is there, and Moldova is doing what they do best all the time: entertain. And you can't just be grumpy watching that performance. And if you have seen the video, there are some moves, some choreography there, so I'm expecting to see that on the stage. And like usually, we're going to be entertained by Zdub and Frații Advahov. Let's see how it goes. It can go both ways, but definitely they will put up a show.
Thanks, Bogdan. Sarah, what have you got to say on the Moldovan song?
Well, I have to say, I'm a big fan of the previous entries of Zdub. They've got character. They certainly know how to entertain. They know how to engage an audience. I do like this song that they've got this year. The only thing is, I don't think it's got quite the power that So Lucky and Bunica Batatoba did. I think it's a lot of fun. I think they'll certainly get the fan base there. Whether they've got enough to carry it through to the success that they had sort of with their previous entries remains to be seen. But certainly, it's certainly going to stand out from other entries.
Thanks, Sarah. Richard, what's your take on this song?
When I first heard it, I thought it had that great traditional ethnic sound that we fell in love with some of the entries last year, like Ukraine and others, etc. But like everybody else has said so far, it's so entertaining. It grabs your attention. Yes, it isn't a winner, but it's going to be one that people remember. And on the plus side, the band or the group have been there before, so they know what to expect from the whole Eurovision experience. They're not first timers, so that they can go there knowing what to expect.
That's Richard. Yeah, there's Zdub. They're in that very elite group of performers that have been in 3 contests now. And I wrote down 3 words when I first heard it, and they were all fun. Fun. It's bonkers. It's the sort of thing I'd expect from them, and it doesn't disappoint. It's clearly from that part of Europe. I love music from that part of Europe. Love to see it do well. James.
Okay, I think this is brilliant. I agree with everything that everyone said. You know, the bands, they've done Eurovision before. They know what they're getting into, and they know how to sell it well. That's a really important thing. It's absolutely hilarious. You know, as my said, you can't be grumpy listening to this because the moment it starts, you just sort of you know start doing that. Yeah, it's funny. I was listening to songs going up for the Moldova national selection, and I picked my favourite, and then I heard this one, and I was instantly sad because I knew that the song that I just listened to had no chance against this one. I think, I mean, I know we've only got a handful of songs at the moment, so it's sort of impossible to tell. But I think if they can pull off an impressive stage show in Turin, which I suspect they will, then I think we might be seeing top 3 in the televote very easily. That's just my feeling.
Thanks, James. Okay, our third song in this show is the song from the Czech Republic. Now, it's called Lights Off, and it's by We Are Domi. And it's been written by Dominika Hašková, Kasper Hatlestad, and Ben Rekstad. You'll notice that they're not all Czech names. There's a bit of Nordic in there as well. And this song we've performed in the second semi-final, and at the moment we just know it's going to be performed in the second half of the second semi-final. And Sarah's going to lead off on this one.
Right. Well, first of all, a couple of interesting facts here, because John's already mentioned the Nordic connection. And it's interesting because there's a couple of little comparisons to Måneskin here, because these guys sort of met at music college and in the UK, but none of them British. Say we've got Dominika, who is from the Czech Republic, and we've got Kasper, and I can't remember the other one's name was, never mind. So we've got the 2 Norwegian guys. So, and also in Måneskin, there was a Danish, as we all know, Victoria was sort of got some Danish ancestry in her as well. So that's interesting, and plus the fact that, like Måneskin, they all met at college, university. So anyway, sort of going on to the music. So the song is called Lights Off, and I have to say I really like this. I've actually seen the live performance of it, and it starts off very dark, very haunting. Dominika's got one of these kinds of voices that sounds haunting as well. You know, it's really sort of, that really draws you in. So it starts off with a very dark staging with the smoke, and obviously the song is called Lights Off, so you would expect it to be quite dark. So then it sort of builds up, you know, from sort of the dark, slow beginning, and then all of a sudden we get this bit of the electro synth music combined with club dance. So it's really, really quite jolly and quite entertaining. I felt myself tapping my foot to it, and that's a good sign with me, you know, because to like a song, I have to actually sort of feel with the music, myself going with the music. And I have to say, it's a very upbeat song, although the song says Lights Off. It's going to be interesting to see how they stage it, because I don't think these guys are going to need backing singers. I think they're quite okay, just the 3 of them on their own. Now, bearing in mind with the live version that we've seen, it's only a small staging. Let's hope they can carry that off onto the larger staging in Turin. I think they have got the capability of being able to draw the audience in, engage with them, and I'd really like to see it do well. Whether it's the winner or not, personally, I'd just like to see it qualify and then see where they go from there. I would like to see Eurovision in the Czech Republic, because I'd like an excuse to go back there. But I think also it's clearly sort of aimed at the younger audience as well. I think that's where they're going to pick up a lot of their televotes from. So whether it will engage well with the juries, that will be interesting to see. It will depend on the show that they put on the night. But yeah, I really like it.
Thanks, Sarah. Richard, Czech Republic, discuss.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good Euro Club number, if there is a Euro Club this year. And you can't fault the vocals either. The one thing I do have a little worry about is it going to be different enough to stand out from the others, or is it going to sort of get mixed up with 2 or 3 others and sort of zero each other out? That's just my little concern about that one.
Okay, yeah, I love it. I love it. It's a foot tapper. 2 words I've written down in my notes, Sarah. Foot tapper as well. Bit on the moody side, which again isn't always a bad thing. Just think Belgium last year. That was nice and moody. That did well. I also get Clean Bandit out of it. It's something that they could have been behind, and that's current. You know, they can do very little wrong at the moment. So if you can tap into that sort of sound, that's not a bad thing. So yeah, I like it. James, over to you.
Czech Republic are an interesting one because they always send very varied styles of music, which I think is really, you know, to be commended. I enjoy this one. I think there is definitely a route to the final for it. I think as a trio, they're very strong, very cohesive, and the song has a good sing-along quality, and I think that always really helps. You know, if you can recall the lyrics and sort of sing along to it, then I think it gets into your head, and that, you know, especially in a voting setting, that's really important. Winning outright, I think, might be a tad ambitious, but I think it should be enough to get the Czech Republic back to the final.
James, finally, Bogdan, your take on the Czech Republic.
Definitely it's a crowd pleaser. Not sure if it's a jury pleaser, but a crowd pleaser, yes. And it should deserve to be in the final. I certainly like it. I heard it for the first time, and okay, I like this one. I actually like it. I can sing along, like all of you said. I can sing along, I can dance along to it, and yeah, it's a very pleasing sound that I think it will do well on Eurovision stage. So yeah.
Bogdan, so that's the Czech Republic. Okay, number 4 in this broadcast is Spain. Now, Spain had a monster national final. Who knew that would ever happen? And the winner was a song called SloMo by Chanel. Of course, they're obviously in the grand final. But this one's appears to be a cast of thousands that have written it. So we've got Leroy Sanchez, Keith Harris, Iberbe Fortes, Maggie Sabo, and Arian Toren, I believe. I apologise if I've got any of those wrong. So Rich is going to lead on this one. Away you go.
Yes, the Spanish broadcaster introduced Benidorm Fest to us all this year, and I think it was the talk of social media. It had something that everybody liked, but as John said, the Spanish voted for Chanel with SloMo. I think it was quite an upbeat Mediterranean number, and it's certainly going to bring the summer vibes to Turin. So if the weather isn't nice, hot and sunny, that should cheer everybody up. Chanel is joined by 3 male dancers throughout the whole routine, and at times joined by 2 female backing dancers as well. But the main focus is on Chanel and those 3 main male dancers. I thought the vocals could be a little bit more impactful, but that's what rehearsals are for. Let's not, you know, be negative about that quite yet. Frago it isn't in terms of impact, but it could do wonders through rehearsals. It's certainly a improvement on the last few Spanish entries we've had.
Thanks, Richard. Yeah, it's got a sound that we've heard in a couple of recent Eurovisions in it to me, and I'm wondering whether it's been done to death. I mean, there are certain broadcasters that have the habit of taking a reasonable song and just completely over-egging it. I'm not going to name names, but I do fear this could happen with this one. But on the plus side, it's already in the final, so it's not got that headache to go through. James, over to you.
I really enjoy this. I think Chanel's a very impressive performer. I mean, to be able to sing like she does while doing this whole routine, that's, you know, quite complex when you actually stop and look at it. And she makes it look effortless, which is kind of frustrating for somebody who trips over walking down the street. So there is that. The song, yeah, it does have that familiarity to it. I will give it that. You know, it's not exactly groundbreaking in that sense, but I still think it's a good example of that genre. And yeah, I think we're all sort of sitting back and waiting when are Spain going to sort of get their new sort of high scoring entry. Will it be this one? I can see it happening.
James, Bogdan.
Well, even though this one wasn't my favorite from the competition in Spain, I still love it. I think it's a really good dance song, and I really absolutely love the choreography that Kyle Hanagami did. And he's an amazing choreographer. And yeah, if you don't know about him, check it out, because he is an amazing choreographer. And yeah, I'm expecting to see even more great things on the big stage. It will do well. It will do better than Spain does lately at Eurovision. And who knows, maybe for this time we will see them on the left side of the scoreboard.
Thanks, Bogdan. Sarah, over to you. What do you think of Spain?
Well, I agree with everybody else, actually. It's definitely a stomper. It's been choreographed to within an inch of its life. It's definitely going to do well. I don't think somehow Spain are going to be in the bottom 5 this year at all. As Bogdan said, hopefully they'll be on the left-hand side of the scoreboard this year. And I have to say, Chanel, you know, you can engage with her quite well. You know, she certainly knows how to perform. And I think she is really going to make sure that that staging is top notch.
Thanks, Sarah. So there are our views on Spain. Okay, our final review in this show is the Bulgarian song. Now, it's called Intention, and it's by the Intelligent Music Project, and it's been written by Milan Vrabevsky, who is one of the members of the band of Intention. But if you see the video, you'll also notice a certain Stoyan Yankelov, who has represented his country twice with Elisa Todorova. And this song will be taking part in the first half of the first semi-final. It's on early doors. And I'm going to lead on this one. Only song of the 5 to 9 that's been chosen by an internal selection. And I have to say that I like it. I've got a feeling I'm in a bit of a minority here. It's quite refreshing. It's rock, but it's not really heavy rock. It's sort of a refreshing sort of rock that might appeal to a wider audience than something like, say, from, I don't know, the Finnish band Taras Bethany or something like that. It's safe, but not too safe. I'd like to see a live performance. And it's good to see that the old guys, the mature guys, are still getting a turn at representing their country at Eurovision. So, again, if you've got people of a certain age that are watching the show on the Tuesday evening, then this might strike a chord with them. So, it's getting a thumbs up from me. And before we went on air, Staggy said he liked it too. James, what do you think of Bulgaria?
I must say I agree with everything you've said, John. It's refreshing that it's sort of a form of accessible rock. It's not sort of too, you know, it's not like death metal, you know, symphonic or something. It sort of feels like it's like almost like rock light. You know, for someone who's not into rock music, it's rock, but it's still accessible, which I think is a good thing. I do enjoy the song. It puts me in mind that sort of very early 2000s rock. So, you know, it's again a sound I remember growing up with. I think the issue for me is I listen to it and I enjoy it in the moment while I'm listening to it. And like you, I'll be interested to see what it's like on the stage, because I have a feeling that rock songs like this come to life on stage. The problem that I have is 5 minutes after I've listened to it, I'm struggling to remember the lyrics, which I think can be problematic in a contest setting. But I'm happy Bulgaria trying something different. I think that's to be commended. They always, you know, like to surprise us. I mean, they surprised everyone by being the first song out this year, because we all know that's Albania's traditional spot. So, you know, congratulations for that. As to its chances at the contest, I like to think there's a chance for them if they pull off a convincing live show, which I have a feeling they will. But yeah, I guess we'll have to wait to see. But yeah, overall, I quite like it.
Thanks, James. Bogdan, what do you think of the Bulgarian song this year?
Well, you know me well that usually I support all the rock songs because I do like some rock in my life. Yeah, saying that, I think it's a bit too safe for my liking. Yes, it's accessible. Yes, it's pleasant, but it's just too pleasant that it becomes a bit forgettable. So I'm just hoping, like James said, that on the stage it will come alive and it will maybe impress us all. Because at the moment I like it, but I'm not impressed.
Okay, Sarah, what do you think?
I've got to be careful here and try and be objective, because rock music isn't my thing. So I will try my best to be as objective as I can. obviously there's been a lot of rock songs in Eurovision over the years, and we've seen some be very successful and we've seen some not be so successful. Whether Bulgaria's entry this year meets the successful category, I think remains to be seen. I'd like to actually see what the live performance is going to look like in Turin first before I pass any judgment on it. At the moment, on listening to it, as James said, I have a problem with remembering the lyrics, and obviously not being a rock fan anyway, I probably don't engage with it as well. But some rock songs like Lordy, I can, you know, so because that really sort of had a memorable aspect to it. And I think sort of if you're going to send in a rock entry, you've got to make it memorable. And it remains to be seen whether these guys can actually pull that off.
Thanks, Sarah. And last but certainly not least, Richard, what do you think of the Bulgarian song?
If they're trying to replicate the Italian winner from last year, Måneskin, they're certainly not achieving it. And to me, it feels more pop in places than rock. And that's maybe just my listening, but I'm not a rock fan, and it's certainly not memorable enough for me, but it just feels a bit too poppy rather than rocky.
Thanks, Richard. So that's the review of our 5 songs. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to score them. Now, instead of the Eurovision style 12 to 8, because that would be silly, we're going to give each song a absolute score out of 10. So that will give it a total mark out of 50. And then we'll judge it against the songs from all the other countries that are taking part. And hopefully we might be able to pick a Eurovision Ireland favourite that might even be the winner. So we're going to kick off with North Macedonia. So James, what is your score for North Macedonia?
I really enjoy this song, and I'm going to give it 8 points.
Points. Bogdan, your score for North Macedonia?
I like the song. I'm not sure, so I'm going to give it a 5.
5. Sarah, what's your score for North Macedonia?
I like the song, but I think the staging is going to play a big factor in it. So I'm going to give it a 6.
6. Richard, what's your score?
I think due to the pure rawness and emotion that Andrea portrays, I am giving it a 7.
Right, now, yeah, I wasn't as impressed, so it's only going to get 4 from me, and that gives it a total score of 30. Not bad, not bad. Moldova next. Bogdan, your score for Moldova?
Well, I'm a bit struggling, but I will say a 6.
6 for Moldova. Sarah, your score?
I'm going to give it 7. Yeah.
Richard?
Because of the traditional sounds mixed in with the entertainment, I'm actually giving it an 8.
8. Right, I love it too. I'm giving it an 8. And then finally, James?
I feel like I'm listening to different songs to you guys. I'm just going to give it a 9. I think it's brilliant.
9. So as long as my adding up is correct, that gets a score of 38.
Oh.
Leader so far. Czech Republic next. Sarah's going to lead on that one.
Right, I absolutely love it, but I don't think it's quite there that I can give it full marks. So I'm going to give it a 9.
9 for the Czech Republic. Richard, your score?
I certainly think it's a strong entry. I just hope it doesn't get lost in a crowd if other songs are like it, but I'm giving it a 7.
7. Right, from me, it's going to get an 8. James?
I'm going to give this one a 6.
6. And Bogdan?
A very strong 7.
Very strong 7. So that puts it on 37. 1 point behind Moldova. Right, Spain next. Richard, you're to lead on this one.
I'm going to give it an 8 purely because I think it's one of their stronger entry in the recent years.
Right, I might be the black sheep here, but I'm not so keen. It's getting a 5 from me. James, what's your score?
It's getting an 8 from me.
Okay. Bogdan?
8.
Another 8. I am black. Yeah. And Sarah?
I've yet to be convinced because we see so many sort of similar entries like this in the past. So I'm going to give it 6.
6. That gives them a score of 35. Close at the top. And finally, Bulgaria. And I'm going to kick off with this one. I'm giving it a 7. James, what's your score for Bulgaria?
I'm going to give it a 7 as well.
And Bogdan?
I'm sorry, it's a 5.
And Sarah?
Sorry, I'm not a fan really. 4.
4. And Richard, finish off Bulgaria for us.
Yeah, sorry. To me, it's not coming across how it probably should be coming across. So again, it's only a 4 for me.
Oh, so providing my adding up is correct, that gives a score of 27. So our ranking for the 5 songs tonight, we have in 5th place Bulgaria, 27. In 4th place on 30 points, we have North Macedonia. Just waiting for the flag there. In 3rd place on 35, we have Spain. In 2nd place on 37, we have the Czech Republic, or Czechia, if you prefer. And our leader so far on 38 points, only 1 point ahead, is Moldova.
Hey, oh.
We like Balkan music at Eurovision Ireland. Now, before we sign off, I'm going to ask the question for the team, and I'll go around one by one. Could one of these actually win the whole shebang? James?
Whole shebang, I don't think so. Televote, quite possibly.
Which one?
I think definitely Moldova and chance of winning the televote. It's about trains, come on, who doesn't like trains?
Bogdan, same question.
Well, I don't think we've seen the winner yet. I'm waiting for a song to be really excited about, and it scored more than an 8, so I'm still holding on to that.
Thank you, Bogdan. Sarah, could a winner come from among these?
I agree with what's said so far. I don't think we've seen the winner yet. I certainly think we've seen a couple that will do well with televotes. Maybe not so much with jury votes. But yeah, I think we're still waiting for the winner.
Richard, over to you.
In terms of overall winner, I don't think we have seen them. I would partly agree with James regarding Moldova and the televote, but I don't think they're going to top it, but they'll be very near the top.
Yeah, I think we're right. I'm sorry to all the 5 countries that are taking part, but I don't think the winner will come from these. Moldova could do well in the televote if they nail the stage performance, but yeah, what do we know? So that's our first review. There are more going to be following, so stay tuned for the subsequent the next reviews, because your country may feature soon. As I said at the top of the show, don't forget to check out what we're doing on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube, and I think that's all of them. I think that's mentioned all, and of course the website. Interviews, reviews, blogs. We're doing all that, and who knows what else we might surprise you with. So as well as a mouse. Anyway, we're going to sign off now. So it's goodbye from James.
Bye, everyone.
Goodbye from Bogdan.
Bye, stay safe.
Sarah.
Bye, everyone.
From Richard.
Bye.
From me and from Staggy. Goodbye.